Most beginner woodworking projects don't look bad because the person didn't try. They look bad because of small mistakes that add up over time. Crooked lines, rough edges, blotchy stain, gaps in the joints. None of that happens because someone is lazy. It happens because no one explained that simple done well will always be complicated done poorly. If you want your projects to look professional, your goal is not to build something flashy. Your goal is to build something clean, straight lines, smooth surfaces, balanced proportions. That's what makes someone stop, look at your work, and say, "Wait, you made that?" A lot of beginners jump into complicated plans right away. Hidden joinery, fancy angles, decorative details. That's usually where frustration starts. When your skills are still developing, complex designs highlight every weakness. Instead, you want projects that are easy to build but strong in visual impact. A floating wall shelf is a perfect example. It's simple, it's modern, and when it's done right, it looks like something you'd see at a high-end home store. The structure is basic: a solid board, strong hidden brackets or sturdy support underneath, clean 90-degree cuts. That's it. The real difference isn't in the design, it's in the execution. When you measure carefully and make straight cuts, the shelf already looks sharp. When you sand it until it's smooth to the touch, it feels high quality. When you apply an even coat of stain or paint, it completely transforms. Suddenly, that basic board looks like a design piece. Mounted in your living room, add a small plant and a few books, and the whole space feels upgraded. That's the power of simple design done right. Another beginner project that creates strong visual impact is a modern wooden plant stand. This works so well because modern design is built on clean lines and minimal structure. 4 straight legs, a square or round top, balanced proportions. Nothing complicated, but when the cuts are clean and the finish is smooth, it looks intentional and polished. Picture placing that plant stand next to a couch or near a window. The warm wood tone against green leaves feels natural and inviting. It feels handcrafted in a good way. And the build itself only requires basic cuts and solid assembly. No advanced joinery, no expensive equipment, just focus and attention to detail. Detail is what separates amateur from professional. Not years of experience, not a massive workshop, detail. A simple storage box is another strong beginner project. At first, a box sounds plain, maybe even boring. But look at it differently. Clean corners, tight joints, smooth surfaces, a consistent finish. Now that basic box becomes a stylish storage piece for blankets, tools, or keepsakes. Alignment is everything here. When corners meet perfectly and the surfaces are sanded flat, the project feels solid, and solid feels professional. Even small gaps can make a piece feel weak. Tight joints create trust. When people see clean construction, they automatically assume quality. If you want to elevate the look even more, choose a darker stain or a matte paint. Dark walnut, soft black, even a natural clear coat can look high-end if it's applied evenly. Finishing is where most beginners rush. They want to see the final result fast. But finishing isn't just the last step, it's half the project. Sanding is where the transformation really starts. Begin with a medium grit to remove rough spots. Move to a finer grit to smooth everything out. Wipe away all dust before applying any finish. Then apply your stain or paint evenly and let it dry completely. Rushing this part is like pulling cookies out of the oven too early. They might look done on the outside, but they'll fall apart when it matters. Another beginner-friendly build that looks more advanced than it really is a clean, rectangular entryway bench. 2 side panels, 1 top panel, maybe a lower shelf for support. Straight lines, even spacing. When everything is square and sanded properly, it looks like custom furniture. Place that bench near your front door, slide a pair of shoes underneath, add a simple cushion on top. Now it looks styled and intentional. Presentation matters. Even the most basic project can feel expensive when it's placed well in a space. There's a clear pattern here. None of these projects are complicated, No curved cuts, no complex joinery, no specialized machines, and yet every one of them can look professional if you build with patience and care. So why do most beginner projects look amateur? It usually comes down to three things: poor measuring, poor sanding, poor finishing. That's it. Not a lack of talent, not a lack of intelligence, just skipping steps that seem small but make a huge difference. Professional results come from consistency, straight cuts every time, even sanding pressure across the surface, uniform stain coverage. When everything is consistent, your eye reads it as high quality. Design choices matter too. Clean lines almost always win, either sharp corners or slightly rounded edges, but done evenly across the whole piece. Neutral colors, natural wood tones. Avoid adding too many decorative details in the beginning. Less is more. Simple designs last longer and look more timeless. Think about well-known furniture brands in the US. Most of their best-selling pieces aren't complicated. They're simple, balanced, and well-finished. That's the standard to aim for. Not complexity, clean execution. When choosing your first project, be strategic. Pick something that solves a real need in your home: a shelf to clear up clutter, a bench for your entryway, a plant stand for an empty corner. When your project serves a purpose, your motivation stays strong from start to finish. Small wins build confidence. When you complete one clean project, you prove something to yourself. You see that professional-looking results are possible. That belief changes how you approach the next build. You measure more carefully, you sand longer, you take pride in the small details. There's also a practical benefit. Projects that look professional are easier to gift or even sell. A clean floating shelf for modern plant stand can sell locally without much effort. That means your hobby can start paying for itself. When quality goes up, perceived value goes up. If you want to make it easier, I left a list of beginner-friendly tools and recommended materials in the description. These are reliable options that help you get cleaner cuts and smoother finishes without spending more than you need to. When you remove guesswork, you remove hesitation. And when hesitation goes away, progress speeds up. The biggest shift you need to make is mental. Stop trying to impress people. Start trying to execute with precision. Clean lines, smooth surfaces, balanced shapes. That formula works every time. It's like handwriting. Fancy lettering doesn't matter if it's messy. Simple letters written clearly look better. Woodworking works the same way. Simple projects built well will always beat complicated projects built poorly. You don't need advanced skills to get professional results. You need patience and discipline. Measure twice, cut once, sand longer than you think you should. Apply finish evenly. Let it dry fully. Small actions repeated carefully create big visual impact. And when you see your first finished piece sitting in your home, fitting naturally into the space, something clicks. Professional isn't a title reserved for experts. It's the result of respecting the process. Build something simple. Build it clean. Finish it with care. Let the details speak. When someone asks where you bought it and you tell them you made it yourself, that's when you realize how much progress you've actually made.